While the Ghostbusters are back in town and are ready to bust some more ghosts in classic fashion, that's not really the case for this freezing cold movie. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire struggles to find a spot in the rankings for me. It's a solid movie with lots of crowded elements jammed together, which is making this film struggle to stand out more. Even the first and second classic movies were better and had way more charm compared to this. Even Afterlife was more emotionally touching. At least this is better than the 2016 film, but so is every other Ghostbusters film. I just think this is an underwhelming Ghostbusters movie that falls below its other movies. And now I am going to talk all about it in my movie review on Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Before we start this video, don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoy it. And don't forget to subscribe as well as hitting the bell icon to see more content. Thank you and enjoy. To start off, this film has a lot of great elements that Afterlife had. It continues the original film series beautifully without just leaving it on Afterlife's ending, and instead of relying on more emotion like last time, it's more action-packed and feels a lot more like a Ghostbusters movie, which works because Afterlife pays tribute to the original source material, but this one is a lot more packed for hardcore Ghostbuster fans, just missing that classic slapstick humour the series is known for. Just like last time, this movie also has excellent voice performances. Even if the cast is very crowded and so much talking is going on, whenever an actor does their part on screen, they do it really well. Paul Rudd as Mr. Gruberson is still excellent. Dan Aykroyd as Ray Stantz provides a very potent role like in the OG films. The other original cast members, Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson, Annie Potts, and William Atherton, still got it in them, even if they don't appear as much. And Makina Grace is outstanding, and so much better than last time. Something else I really enjoy about the film is the big bad villain, Garuka. Originally, the big bads are usually forgettable and don't really do much. Then of course you have Gozer, who appeared in Ghostbusters 1984 and Afterlife. Now we have Garuka, an original Ghostbusters villain. I loved his powers being more and more end of world type of power, with freezing everything in the world and allowing his ghost army to take over. And he's even shown to be a terrifying villain in occasions as well. I just wish they did more with him. Maybe giving him more dialogue and some more screen time. Some improvements here and there, but overall, a great villain. Thankfully, the soundtrack is also great, with some awesome tracks, and also don't forget that they reused the original song at the end of the credits, just like always. Very charming to hear it at the end of the film. Incredible special effects for a budget of only $100 million. The ghosts look lively, the ice effects and weather conditions look very realistic and good looking, and also the CGI that's used on many occasions. I guess films are finally learning that even with a small budget, anything great can be achieved in a film. Do take notes, future movies. The ghosts in this film are unforgettable and still just as great as ever. Slimer returns in this film, and he's still awesome despite limited screen time. Possessor Ghost is also really cool looking, where the name pretty much says it all. It can possess anything, like that one scene where it possesses as a bin bag. That's actually really cool to look at. I want a ghost that does home chores for me. And Melody was also really likable with Phoebe. She had some nice plot twists here and there, and is the key to defeating Gurika after being betrayed, strengthening the fire powers that Nadim utilized against the ice-chilling god. Lastly, can't also forget that they dedicated Ivan Reitman at the end of the film, just as the credits begin to roll. Ivan passed away back on February 2022, and this film is dedicated to his memory on making the original Ghostbusters becoming cult classics. I hope the future Ghostbusters movies, if they follow on, they are just as well made as what the original film was. Creepy, scary, yet also very light-hearted and full of joy. Now it's time to list the bads about this film. It relies on so much fan service. Heck, even more than Afterlife. Original ghosts returning, original cast members returning, Easter eggs from the first film and second film, and to be honest, it doesn't work anymore. At least in Afterlife it worked because it helped establish it in the original Ghostbusters series and paid tribute to the original films after years. But this one just doesn't work and feels like the franchise runs out of steam faster. It's like they couldn't find any better ways to make this film great. It's like they just said, yeah, let's just place this classic character in this and place them here and there, just to charm original fans. Many new viewers want to see this too, so why not both? The whole plot is also generic, as again it relies heavily on the world freezing over with another ice age. Don't get me wrong, the villain is awesome, but the plot could have been established a lot better here, as ice freezing over isn't going to make this film stand out more with a generic plot. It's also the second film to have the word Empire in its title, and the villain is an ice god. Does this sound familiar to another movie that released this year? I hope it does for you. Another thing I don't like about this film is its serious tone, which doesn't work. All Ghostbusters films should be, like I said, light-hearted and full of joy. But this one kind of just misses that element. That's what makes a Ghostbusters film great. A dark and serious tone cannot help make this film more scary and creepy, which worked so well in the past. Also, even though this film tries to have us focus on ghosts a lot due to the film's synopsis, there's not much in here. Slimer appears a bit. Minor ghosts barely have much screen time. Gurika doesn't appear much as the big bad here at all, aside from slowly revealing him from the start. and the only one that has a major role as a ghost is Melody. But even then, it just feels wrong. It again takes away what makes a Ghostbusters film. Busting ghosts, literally. And that element is not shown much in this movie. Finally, it takes a very long time before we finally get some action with the Ghostbusters. It's like the whole film is trying to be like the Avengers, taking its time setting up everything for a big action sequence with everyone involved, only for the last act to be the biggest action-packed scene in all of the film. At least the Avengers films focused on the Avengers a lot and sets up neatly, but none of that is in this film either, which kinda makes it rather lacking with variety. Overall, my final opinion on Ghostbusters Frozen Empire? It's a solid film all in all. I just feel like the franchise is starting to run out of steam now. It's running out of ideas to make a Ghostbusters film stand out, and just instead copies elements from previous entries. If they want to make a great Ghostbusters film, I think they should stop focusing on fan service and instead focus more on the characters that were first seen in Afterlife. Not saying that I hate the original cast and don't want them to make any more appearances after this, but it makes the film feel more as a cash grab than an original made film. Also, it needs to bring back the light-hearted and joy theme back from the originals, and just have a better crafted plot with more ghosts and a dark tone that actually works. And the humour should focus on being more slapstick than witty. This film isn't bad by any means. I just find it underwhelming and could have been so much more. It's not enough to make it completely frozen solid, but when focusing on the big leagues, it simply fails to fall out of its mediocrity. What is your opinion on Ghostbusters Frozen Empire? Did you enjoy it, or did you find it also to be lacking? And if you were in charge of making a sequel to this movie, how would you make it? Let me know in the comment section below, and also don't forget to leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you are new, and hit that bell icon to see more content on my channel. Thanks for watching. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is better than Ghostbusters 2016 and is fun for many fans of the original films. But don't have high expectations if you are hoping for something as well made as the original 1984 film.